Good evening, how is everyone? Well, a bit more progress today. I've got this made that can go in there. Now, it's taken quite a while to fit it, but it does fit, and I think it should do the job. So it's fastening it, isn't it? And I don't have anything at the moment. Well, I haven't really looked, but I do have those cap screws, and it would be a simple job to, you know, drill the hole a bit and grind them round and file the top, you know, to put them in there. And looking at this, I think the best way just there is to make sure you're in the right-ish place and drill through the fin there and there. Then you put that on and drill through that, of course, and then we'll see if we've enough meat to tap it. So it might mean getting some screws, or those cap screws that I had. If you remember, I've got one. Where have I got one? Oh, I've nearly run out. That's the problem. I used them on my steam engine and there was one left. Right, that one. And that's all I had left. I used on there. So I've got a tap for that, that's all. So you see they're quite big. They stick up quite a long way. So, or I can see, anyway, I'll have to see what's available later. That's what I'm saying with that. I'll have to see what's, you know, what we can get. Because it's, although it's a bit milder, you know, the roads are still pretty crap, and I don't want to be quite the market raising to the shop, so I've got to see what there is. There's bound to be some stuff in Lincoln. I mean, blooming heck, we've got a screw fixed and all sorts, you know. But if you go there, they want to sell you 1,000, you know. It's that's the problem. Anyway, the other thing to tell you, which is reasonable news, I think, I did just cut through a couple of plugs and open one up. And we've done that, and I got, these came, the diamond cutting disc for the Dremel. So I just tried it on a plug. Now, this has got to test the camera, isn't it? Let me just see. There. Try and hold it dead steady for you. It does actually cut it. Anyway, the problem with doing this way, although it fit and be good, because what I've got to do, for the way I finished my spacer, and I've fitted it all the way on the outside now, so that's a pretty good fit now. And it'll have to go through there. Well, if you look inside there, we've got a space. Right, you see? So what I could do is, well, obviously what I've got to do is cut a little piece out here, like that, right? So I am going to have to do that. Anyway, the next step is, of course, fasten this on. Now, I don't know if you watched me other video yesterday, but I did give the engine a run, put it back standard and started it up and gave it a run and set it up a bit, and it's running quite nicely now, so we'll stand a bit of a chance. However, there's a lot doing it this way, and you won't see, I've got to tell you on this camera, that is actually too thick. And even though those do cut this ceramic, I don't think I can pare it down enough, you know, to do it that way. Because it would be ideal if I could get a small enough one to go in a hole and taper it slightly. It doesn't matter if it's at a slight angle, does it? You know, it'd have to be a very slight angle. I don't know how we'd do it yet, but that would be, if we could, would be the best way. And the reason you've got to taper it that way is, of course, it would stop it blowing out. It would solve a lot of problems. And the other thing is, looking at the head gasket, of course, which doesn't go on that way, there is only a small piece of gasket around the holes. You know, and remember, it's not running very fast and not running very long. So we've got to bear that in mind. Now, the other way to do it, of course, is to, on the underside of that, I could put a slot in there, you know, and possibly in the head gasket a bit. But that means that I don't have the option, let me get that right way around, because I've well, that way, isn't it? Yeah, because what it is, I'll do it again, but I just faced the head and this side on a bit of you know, flat paper, because it would be nice not to use a gasket on that side, just some, you know, a bit of gasket cement on that. I think that would do that. So we're getting there, but as I say, I think, well, the next thing to do, without any doubt whatsoever, is to fasten that in there. Obviously, make sure the valves don't hit. And with the gasket on, I have just checked them, and there is quite a bit of clearance actually. But if you look on there, this is what made it a little bit difficult. That is slightly raised, see? So I've taken the whole of that side off on the belt sander, and it's as you can see, it's not perfect, but it's not that bad. So that goes on there quite nicely. Took a lot of fitting, and I mean, my wrist swelled up with tendonitis again. Can you see? Oh, spastic, aren't I? It's hurting. So I can't do a lot more filing. Anyway, bit of progress. Now, so I don't know what you think, but of course, that bit of plastic that I got, and well, Emma suggested it, but although I did sort of mention it, what I need, ideally, is some high temperature insulation, which, you know, you find on cookers, don't you, and electric fires and things like that. So I think that's the best option to start with, to try and do that. So we are going to be held up for that a bit, and we may be held up for some screws to put that on, because the next thing to do is bolt that onto the head, make sure the valve's clear first, and just, well, you probably know, you probably don't know how to do it, but remember when I was showing the tappets, which are in there, I haven't got the cover off. Well, all you do is lift one up and put some, you know, put a 20 thou feeler gauge or something like that, or a 30 thou feeler gauge, and wind it over. And if they're clear, you're all right. That's you know, that's the easy way to do that. So that's not a problem. So, as I say, we've got some ideas. So that did work, but now I've got to plug the pieces. That is actually quite big. You know, as I say, what I was actually hoping to do was put a hole in the spacer like that, so the plug could go in. It wouldn't obviously, it would blow that way, it wouldn't blow out. You could cut the end off, and hopefully, as I say, if it was small enough, the electrode would arc on the hole. So if you, for argument's sake, say that was the electrode and that was the hole, if you get a gap, like a 20 thou gap round there, you know, that will spark, won't it? So that's what I was hoping to do, but I'm not sure I can. So as I say, we've we've struggled with the easy bit. So when we get to the difficult bit, I think we've got to struggle a bit more. But anyway, it's all fun, isn't it? Right. So, what do you think? You know, it's coming along a little bit. What I'll do, as I say, the next thing is, when I get this done, I don't know when it'll be. It's coming a bit mild. I might pop out tomorrow and try and find a couple, but get a tap and a, you know, whatever. Or look round here, see what I've got, all sorts. You know. So that's the next thing, is to fasten that in the head and then assemble it back together with the spacer and see if it starts. So that's the next step. So as I say, we take one step at a time. Don't work, go back, which I did, and tried it, and it ran very well actually. Since I've done the valves, it ran a lot better, and you know, it gave me a chance to run it a little bit and set it up, you know. So that's it. Right. As I say, I'm only showing you, you know, bits and pieces as we do them. I mean, I've been a good couple of hours making that this afternoon. A good couple of hours. And look, it sort of fits, doesn't it? And but these, I'm quite pleased with these. $1.99. That's all. Came with 2 arbors which don't fit my collet, but then I've got another collet in the thing, so I used one of mine. That's all. But that, they do work. Whether I've got enough to finish the job, if I've got to do it. As I say, you know, it's all investigation. So I think the next thing to do is look round for a bit of heat-proof insulation, because it's not got much to go, has it? You know, if I cut that out that shape, I only need, well, I need that much, don't I? I need half an inch, you know. And then we can find something that fits inside it, and you know, that would be the best way of doing it, because there's enough. I can drill a very small hole then through there to fit that, and the electrode will go through the middle, and hopefully it'll spark on the hole, round the hole, and job's a good one. But job isn't a good until it works, is it? Right, we'll call that a do, I think. Don't have anything else to tell you of great importance. No. Right, I'll hold the camera. Anyway, hope you're enjoying this little series, and we'll probably be digressing actually the next day or 2 days or 3 days, or it might be tomorrow. So it's just I'm not doing one every day. It's just that when I've got something to show you, you know, we take a video and show you. Alright, have fun lads.